Good morning, people. My name is Edward King, and this is another one of my audio, non-video presentations so that you can go through your emails and whatever it is that you like doing on the PC while I speak. I'm not quite awake yet. I just got up here. It's 5:34 a.m. and I'm sipping on my coffee, so I hope you'll bear with me here as I take a slurp. Good, strong, instant coffee this time. I didn't have time to make a pot. Well, I guess I could have made the time, but I felt this was more important because my children are going to be up at any time, and I really want to get this done before that happens. Some thoughts. My thoughts are basically concerning tradition, marriage, and polygamy. Polygamy has been surfacing through the media and a lot these days, and myself, I don't own a television, but I've read about these things on the internet, and I've seen a few clips of Big Love and the Browns, and my advice to anybody is just throw your television in the garbage, because television rarely emulates a true real life situation. I realize there's dramas, and there are dramas in real life too, and perhaps in those areas television may or may not emulate real life situations. This whole reality TV, I went to a friend's place here and saw that, and I just laughed. That's not real. That's not real, people. You know what's real? Taking that TV and throwing it in the garbage dumpster. You want to see real after that? You'll see real after that. One of the wisest choices I ever made in my entire life was to throw my television in the garbage while my babies were yet in diapers. But that's my choice, and I am not forcing it upon you. And I am digressing. One moment here as I collect my thoughts. The wife suggested that I take long pauses so that I don't keep going, I don't know if that works or not, but I suppose there's a way that works. Those of you who know me, you know that I do take credence in the Bible, and I don't have a problem with that. But today's topic, I guess, would be, tradition, polygamy, and marriage. And I can put an argument up against the most staunchest of highbrowed religious people for polygamy, and I can, as I can actually, against the staunchest of atheists. This is not about religion so much as just a little reality check. These are coming to the forefront because people are starting to realize some truths, if you will. And one of those truths is that men are not women and women are not men. That nature did not design men to be strictly monogamous, and that nature did indeed design women to live monogamously. And we can see this in the whole power struggle, the structure, and it doesn't matter what flavor of belief system, and evolution, by the way, Darwinism essentially is a belief system. Okay, it's not scientific enough, and anyone with a scientific mind knows Darwinism is a theory, and actually it's a theory that is, for lack of a better word, evolved into a religion. But the same with the Bible here. It's a religion. People make it a religion. I don't have a problem with that. But and I don't have a problem with men and women being animals. because if we understand the word animus, I believe that's Latin, could be Greek, I think it's animus, it means life, a living creature, a living thing. Human beings are living creatures. And if we have a problem with this, well, I think we need to get an education here, because human beings are living creatures. Hence, we are animals, and that's where the word animus came from. That's where we get our animated from, you know. It means to be moving and living. And we are definitely moving and living, although I would not want to, insult God's good creatures and wonderful beasts by saying that, we are beasts. We are not, some of us, I suppose, are beasts, right? But that aside, human beings are animals, and only ignorance would contest otherwise. Taking another slurp of my coffee, one moment here. Oh man, that's strong instant coffee. I should have paid attention when I made that. Yes, well, I'm waking up now. Marriage has traditionally been polygamous from the dawn of time. Since Trog was dragging his mate into his cave by her hair, and happened to notice that things went better for him if he had a couple of those helpmeets, maybe 3 or 4 of them, and helping out the camp. He could make more babies, he could develop a better hunting party, and if he had a few on hand to trade with other men, so much the better, and he became a wealthy and established man. Okay? There's that argument, but then there's also the biblical argument. And the biblical argument is very sound, folks. It's very solid. And I will just like to take this moment, if I may, to say, all you pastors out there, all you preachers, all you quote-unquote men of God, all you people who say that it is a sin for a man to have more than one wife, I challenge you to prove it biblically, because you cannot. You cannot. God never once cursed a man in the Bible for having more than one wife. In fact, God blessed men, biblical men, patriarchs, who had more than one wife. God never declared it a sin. No, not once. No, not once in all of the Scripture. And so what I see happening today is with society and the oppression, the yoke that is being placed on the workers, the working class in society. And oh yes, here in Canada, we certainly do have a working class. Let's not kid ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with being part of the working class either. In fact, I think it's wonderful. What else can keep our economy going, especially in these troubled times? And folks, these are troubled times. It's getting hard to keep that little white picket fence up with the 2 cars in the garage, and maybe the quad and so on and so forth. And, keeping the money in the bank for the children's education, if that is what it is to be called. And, getting that mortgage paid, it's getting tough. And so we see what's surfacing, what's finally breaking through, is that men are beginning to realize, hey, another wife would help. She'd have something to bring to the table as well. And it would help pay off the mortgage, and it would help take care of the children, and I wouldn't have to stuff my kids in a daycare where someone could molest them or hurt them, some stranger, just because he has a piece of paper saying that he's licensed or she's licensed. I never felt comfortable with that. I would prefer that my wife took care of my children, and so forth. That sort of consideration is starting to surface, if I dare say so. And to such an extent that these programs are now coming out on television, and people are titillating themselves with them, and basking in the aggrandizing and popularization of polygamy. Well, there's a reason for this, and the reason is that it is natural for a man to have more than one spouse, and it is really against nature for a woman to keep more than one spouse at a time. Okay, it is very unhygienic for her. Her womb is literally a mobile incubator, and when she starts getting too much of that substance, that organic substance from various men in her, basically her womb begins to rot. That's because she's pretty much invited a DNA war within her body. And I'm not going to elaborate on that, okay? I mean, nature itself and history and culture and everything else has shown us time and time and time again where whoredom will take a woman, okay? And I really don't want to waste a whole bunch of time on that. Women were not designed for that. Women have privileges that men don't have, and hence women live 12 to 20 years longer than men. And unfortunate, when a woman gets around 40, her pickings for a man start getting really slim. So if she's still single and she's looking for a man, she's in her 40s, well, first of all, 98% of the best men are already taken. And second of all, she's going to be competing with a lot of her own peers for a quote-unquote good man. So the odds are really stacked against her. If she were a wise woman and seeking a spouse, I think she would really do well to consider marrying a married man, tried and tested and proven and able to raise family with her. Of course, being in her 40s, she's probably not likely to give birth, but at least she could be part of a family. Anyway, this is not going to go away, people. Polygamy is going to become increasingly popular because it's hard to live. Okay, it's getting really hard to live, and with war on the horizon here, men are, I'm telling you, sabers are rattling, and it's getting ugly, and eventually, the time is going to come, and the prophecy will be fulfilled, and in that day, 7 women will take hold of one man, and they will want that man to be their husband, to take away their reproach, and they will provide their own bread, their own apparel, their own clothing. They really won't have much choice. All right, one way or another, this is coming, and all of us can see it. And any Bible thumper who disagrees with me is living in denial, and they're living in denial of God's own holy truth, I might add. But the time is coming, folks, and I would say, men out there, prepare yourselves. Get yourselves ready for polygamy. Get your sons ready for polygamy, and teach them to keep their wives. Don't teach them to be dogs and sleep around and take other men's wives. Don't teach them to share their wives with other men. That's ridiculous. Okay, and it's detrimental to society, it's detrimental to health, and there are all sorts of violence that erupts from that. Mothers, teach your daughters it's okay to share your man with another woman. That's okay. That's good and well and good. Okay, teach your daughters to be a little bit more dependent on God. Teach your daughters to not look to a man as though he were God Almighty. And teach your daughters to respect themselves. One of the best ways a woman can respect herself is to be part of a polygamous family. There, I said it. The reason for that is because, like men, women need to learn humility. They need to respect and embrace how God has designed them. And they also need that camaraderie with a co-wife or a dear, that special. I want to avoid this word sister wife because it has all kinds of other implications that I'm not really, all that impressed with. But a co-wife is a good thing, ladies. And it's time you accept the fact that men are not women and women are not men. And I'll tell you another thing. This is one of the most best kept secrets going. But I want you to consider what good man in his right mind would want to cast away a woman that actually is all for him having more than one wife. I'll tell you right now, I have a wife who is not opposed to me having another wife. Not in the least bit. And you think I want to let her go? I don't think so. I'm hanging on to this one. So there you go, ladies, and there you go, gentlemen. And maybe I'll just make this part one and get into part two when I'm in a more alert, better frame of mind. But for what it's worth, there it is. Get ready. It's coming. And by the way, it's traditional. It's traditional marriage. There you go. God bless you. God bless you. Have a great day. Don't be, getting angry with me now because I told you the truth. God bless you.